It's time to learn how to make the C2C crochet stitch, which is also known as corner to corner. We're going to be learning how to do that, and I'm gonna show you my king size bedspread that I made, which is so cozy and warm and heavy. You're gonna love it too. So here is my king size C2C bedspread. I made this using burlap blanket yarn and a size 12 millimeter hook. I like to use size 12 because it really makes the stitches pop out. And I did the 6 and 3 method versus the 5 and 2 method. We'll talk about that in a second. I wanted this to be extra large, meaning that I wanted it to have a good overhang. That way, when you're sleeping in it and someone pulls the covers, you're still covered. And I really did a good job doing that. It was pretty easy to gauge how big it was gonna be being a C2C, because when I was halfway through, I was at this diagonal and I put it on my bed like that and I could see how much would overhang. So we're gonna learn how to make this together. I've got my yarn and a hook. Go ahead and get some of yours. It doesn't matter what you're using. I like to use the chunkier stuff. So I have burlap blanket and a size 12 millimeter crochet hook. Let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and get started. We're gonna tie on to our hook, making a slip knot, and then you just put it on here and adjust your tension. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do C2C. You can do it by chaining 6 and working on the chain 6, or you can chain 5. The chain 6 method kind of is the original way, and it has a little bit more holes. The chain 5 method has less holes, so if you like it to be more compact, then you would do that. Okay, so here's a comparison of where I did the 6 and 3 and then the 5 and 2. You can see it's just a little bit smaller and it looks kind of tighter. You can't really see the square, the individual squares as well, I think. But I'm just gonna show you the original way. So we're gonna chain 6. Okay, and then you're gonna work into your 4th chain from hook. If you look at your chain, you have 6 chains, not counting the one on your hook, and this is gonna be the one, and it's literally in the middle, so you're gonna be working right into there. So you're gonna double crochet working into the 4th chain from hook and do a double crochet. In the next one, do a double crochet, and in the last chain do a double crochet. Okay, so what you have is a little square. This is your first square, and you can see at the beginning you skipped a few chains, and that is what you ended up with, this beginning portion here. All right, so now you need to chain 6 again. Okay, so now that you have 6 chains, you're gonna do the same thing going into the 4th chain from hook, making a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 4th one. And we're gonna go into the remaining chains doing double crochets across. And the last one here. Okay, so now you have these 2 squares, and right now they kind of look like 2 little feet. And what you're gonna do now is you're gonna twist this one, the very first one that you made, you're gonna twist it up. So it goes up like this so that you have the squares on the same level. And now you're going to look at the loop here that we originally did, the chain that we did, and you're gonna slip stitch into that loop so that you can connect the 2 squares. So you're gonna go in and just slip all the way through. And now we're gonna do a chain 3. So 1, we're going to do 3 double crochet into this loop. Okay, so this is the first part. You can see it's already building like that. Now we're at the end, so anytime we get to the end, we have to chain 6. And once we make a chain, we have to build on the chain. So we need to go into the 4th chain from hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, to do our 3 double crochet. Okay, once you do that, you know that you're working on this side, okay, not over here. So you just twist it, okay, and now you're gonna connect to the chain loop by slip stitching. So you're gonna slip stitch in there. Once you slip stitch, you have to build. So you're gonna chain 3. We're gonna do 3 double crochet to the next one. Okay, so I've done that square. Now I connect to the next one, slip stitch, and I have to do my last square of this row. So I'm gonna chain 3. And do my 3 double crochet. Okay, let's stop here a second. So you have row 1 was 1 square, row 2 was the 2 squares, and row 3 is 3 squares. So that's how you know what row you're on, by the number of squares. So now we're at the end because we had our 3rd one, so we're gonna chain 6. When you chain 6, you have to build on your chain. So let me get some yarn. I'm gonna go into the 4th chain, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're flipping, so we're always twisting up. And we're gonna make our next squares. So you got 3 more to do because in this row you have 4. This is the first one, 2, 3, and 4. And we keep doing that, keep growing and growing for as long as you want it to be. So you're gonna be growing diagonally, right? So let's go across here and then I'm gonna show you how to close this up. Okay, so I finished row 4 and now I wanna close my square and just do the rest that's left over. I don't wanna continue growing. So what do? Instead of chaining 6, you're gonna just flip it. You're gonna slip stitch until you get to here. So I'm gonna slip stitch over, slip stitching into my hole, and you're gonna just work and complete these squares. And you're not going to chain 6. So I'm chaining 3 here. And I'm gonna complete this square on top of that square. Okay, slip stitch to the next one. Slip stitch to the next. And slip stitch to the next. Now, you can see that I have 2 squares at the same level. We don't want to add anymore, so you're going to turn it around and slip stitch across until you get to this chain. So I'm going to flip it. I'm going to get some more yarn. I'm going to slip 1, 2, 3, and then into my loop and turn it, and then I'm gonna do 2. So I gotta chain first, right? You always chain first to reach the height of what you're doing. So then I do my 3 double crochet, and now slip stitch to the loop and twist, and you're gonna slip stitch over, oops, into the loop. Now you just have 1 left to do. So chain 1, 2, 3, okay, and then you slip stitch, and that's it. Okay, and that's how you do a C2C. This is what it looks like, the little squares, whenever you do the chain 6 and chain 3 method. And I like that version because I feel like the little squares pop out more. If you do the chain 5 and chain 2 method, then instead of chaining 6 at the end, you chain 5, and whenever you go up and chain at the beginning of your squares, you chain 2 instead. So your loops, these little holes, would be smaller. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're not already, go ahead and head over to patreon.com/craftwithjess and become one of my Patreons so that you can attend my live crochet classes and really learn as you go with me.